Hello everybody. 180 years ago in January 1840, Charles Wilkes was the first explorer to describe and make maps of the coastline of Antarctica. He was an American who had sailed there in his ship Valenciennes, and he was the first to give shape to what they previously had thought was just a big body of water, or at least an archipelago. But he realised it was actually a new continent. And not long after, a British explorer, James Ross, also went to Antarctica and explored it. And he managed in various ways to steal Charles Wilkes's thunder. He managed to give the impression that it was he who had made the discovery, and certainly for many, many years that was what everybody thought, until in the middle of the last century, Charles Wilkes' role in the whole thing began to be clearer. But the thing that struck me as really sad about this was that the reason that James Ross was able to do what he did do was because Charles Wilkes shared with him the maps that he had made. Admittedly, James Ross discovered that they weren't absolutely accurate, but he had this advanced information that enabled him to do even more in the way of exploration than Charles Wilkes had done. I identify with Charles Wilkes. I expect others will too. There are times, aren't there, where you try to be generous, you try to share the information you've got, and it's abused. People take advantage of it, and particularly if they don't give you the credit for your part in whatever was done or whatever was discovered. We can, I speak for myself, of course, but we can get quite resentful if other people get the credit when we feel it's we who deserve it. But I'm reminded of the story Jesus told about the dinner party, where he suggested that it wasn't a good idea always to take one of the best seats if you were invited to come, because then someone more important might come along, and the host will say to you, move down, and you'll have the shame of going down to a lower place. He said, take the lowest seat, and then maybe you might be invited to come up higher. And I think it's always better to go through life expecting and quite genuinely, not putting it on, not to be treated as having done anything particularly special, or even to be anyone particularly special, just to be yourself, and to be humble about it. And if you get applauded for something you've done, or appreciated, or receive the credit for something, then that's a bonus. So today I'm going to put aside any resentment I might be feeling about anything I might have done that hasn't been fully recognised by others as an achievement, and allow myself just to be happy with who I am. And if other people do notice what I've done, well, that's great.